What is this video?
We've been hearing a whole lot of it leading up to and now in this Four Nations face-off.
I didn't like it, and that's all I got.
And when you rep your country, it just means more. So with the overall political environment surrounding this tournament, this rivalry is as alive as it has ever been before. And it came to a head tonight in Montreal, where we had a physical game filled with passion that we've been missing. Best on best, Canada, USA, for the first time in 9 years. Shocker. It did not disappoint. Now, the question coming into this one was, could Canada match the US's physicality that they showed against Finland? And for the Americans, could they match the speed and skill of Canada? Well, a big blow for Canada. Game time decision, 𝗟𝗂𝗎𝗪 was out. In his place, ironically, New York-born dual citizen Thomas Harley. And during the anthems, yeah, that would set the stage for what was a game for the ages. So let's get to it. Now, before puck drop, we had Matthew 𝗟𝗂𝗧.
So can someone explain to me, explain this in NBA terms? Like, what this is? Like, because isn't the NHL season, happening right now? So why are they doing, USA versus Canada shit? Like, this seems like some Olympic shit, no? This is their All-Star weekend? Damn.
And Hagel yapping as, sure enough, dropping the gloves immediately. These two would go at it in what was a solid tilt, and Brady loving every second of it. So that was one down. But Brady 𝗟𝗂𝗧 taking the face-off would mean only one thing. He and Bennett dropped them back-to-back 𝗟𝗑 brawls, and this time it's Matthew 𝗟𝗑𝗧 fired up. Are you not entertained?
I got him good. All right, good. Unbelievable.
Well, we would get a whole 6 seconds further and a whistle before more pushing and shoving, and Parayko and Miller still had more left in them as they'd go at it. Miller nearly knocking himself out, but an unreal start to this.
What? This is what you're saying is... Dude.
Rivalry. Now, out of this one,
They're
though,
just
Canada
fucking fighting.
Actually got a power play, which fired 𝗟𝗪𝗧, but we only got 11 seconds of Canada's power play in their first game, so we got to see it here, and Canada could not get a whole lot going. The U.S. remained physical and had a solid PK, where Helly early was also solid, stopping Stone point blank, and this was great, as 5 minutes finally came by.
Wait. Canada booed the U.S. national anthem? Oh, I'm fighting all those fucking Canadians. If I was on that team, I'm fighting all of them, and I'm hitting them with my stick, too.
4 guys come out of the box to a choir of boos. But then McDavid up the middle splits the D, and the Bell Center explodes. Gets it from Doughty in full stride. He beats McAvoy, goes to the backhand to beat Hellebuyck, and would open the scoring. Absolutely fired up. And to start this game, it took the U.S. a second to get going. But McDavid, flying again, would get stopped by McAvoy with a great hit, and this was a pivotal moment in my opinion, because going the other way, Eichel to Guentzel, and they score. Let Freebird play, baby. It's a weak goal from Binnington to let this in, but the U.S. just like that square this baby up, and they suddenly got their feet under him, as sure enough, this time it's Canada going to the box. Crosby called for hooking, and it's a big U.S. power play, but Canada now stepping up. Guentzel with space as he gets shut down by Binnington, redeeming himself himself a bit as both teams got a solid penalty kill to start. But the big theme in this period was the physicality. From both sides, just you gotta love it. This ain't no all-star game, folks. 𝗟𝗎 here would then get tripped up by 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗋, which meant they got another look at the power play, where they finally got their first shot in 11 minutes. And while they did get some better looks this time around, again, it was 𝗟𝗂𝗪 coming up big as expected. That's the fear from the US. They are just so well-rounded, they're gritty, and they kill off another in what would about do it for what was an insane opening period. 𝗟𝗀𝗃's still out there trying to get under everyone's skin, but that gets us to the second, where things settled down a bit. It was still...
Wait, did they go in the back between each period? I know there's 3 periods. Did they go in the back every time? So they have 2 halftimes. That's tough.
Still physical, still chances going both ways, as Larkin right in front had a golden opportunity, unable to convert as he hit some pipe.
Look at this guy, Bait70. You're so dumb. This is what happens when people ask questions nowadays, bro. I don't know, so, oh, chat, you're so dumb. I'm dumb for not knowing something I never knew. Got it. Got it.
But overall, the middle frame became a much more grinded out period. Less room out there, tight defensive play, and just as Canada was getting going again, 𝗟𝗂𝗪 strong again. And then a Crosby turnover at the worst time, right as Canada was changing, both D-men going off at once. Big mistake as Larkin from the top of the circle would score. He fires one over the blocker of Binnington. Don't love this one either, but this really comes down to that change. Also not a great turnover from Crosby, but with it, it's a 2-1 lead for the Americans. Price was in the building.
Let's go,
Buddy,
USA!
Suit up, we need you out there. But again, it was a tight overall period. 10 shots for each, as they were now tied at 18 apiece through 40. Not a whole lot between these two, as we got the third and final frame where Canada was in the US zone a lot. But the US just great at getting sticks in lanes, and this is where the US is stronger. Fantastic defense, as they did a good job to shut things down. Some chances on both ends, but nothing crazy overall. Not a whole lot going on for the first half. But a big development was Matthew Tkachuk seemingly taking himself out of the game as he would take a seat. And while Canada was getting somewhat busy, anything that they could get to the net was stopped by 𝗟𝗂𝗪. Binnington on the other end was forced to make a good stop, but as time ticked away with 2 to go, Binnington gets pulled. Canada goes to work, the US intercepts, and it's Larkin for 𝗟𝗀𝗃 as they would about seal it with the empty netter. So yeah, game 1 goes to the US, who put on a defensive clinic, a sound game to shut down Canada's speed and clinch their ticket to the championship game in Boston. Only question now is, do we get a rematch? Canada will need to beat Finland in regulation on Monday to do it, so we shall see. But
I will be watching. I will be watching the finals.